Everything you learned in history class was a lie. Well, maybe not everything, but they skipped the best parts. Introducing Stupiracy, where stupidity meets conspiracy. Ever heard of the Olympic marathon that nearly killed its runners? Or the time a pope put another pope's corpse on trial? Join me, Scott Rizzuto, and Tim McKernan as we uncover the most outrageous historical moments and mind-blowing conspiracies you won't believe actually happened. Tune into Stupiracy for your weekly dose of historical absurdity. Available wherever you get your podcasts. Remember, history is dumb, but laughing at it is smart.
See this jug I have here today?
Look at that.
You see that jug?
Yes.
Tell the mayor what this jug is.
It is a bottle.
Templeton Rye.
Templeton Rye.
What the hell? Why did you bring that in? You're not a drinker.
To welcome you back. You were coming back, and now you're not here. What the hell happened?
I broke my ankle.
What?
Yep.
And boy, am I glad you did, because I'm going to start nursing on this Templeton Rye pretty quick.
No, you're bringing that ruck when you come over to get the book.
So the wife broke the ankle, and I was a caretaker for about 2 months. Do you have a caretaker at home with your broken ankle?
I'm being helped a bit, yeah.
So how did we do this?
Well, picture an elevated green, Pat.
Oh, okay.
And behind the green is about a 6 to 7 foot, almost vertical drop down to a sand trap.
I've seen that at several golf courses. Yes.
And that was long grass and wet. Mm-hmm. And at 9:30 in the morning, I approached and my ball was in the middle of that almost vertical drop, and I approached from the sand trap side, started to climb up to it, choke up to hit the wedge, and lost my footing and went down. But I knew instantly my ankle was going the wrong way, and I heard it snap.
Wow.
Just like breaking a twig.
Left or right?
Left.
Oh, wow. This was what, over the weekend?
Yesterday.
Wow.
But you're right-handed, right?
Yeah. What's that have to do with it?
So what do we have on there? We got the good we got the good cast on there then. Huh?
No, I got one of those boots. And then,
boots. I could have gotten you a deal on a boot. I got a leftover one.
And then I use hearing aids.
Friday, I'll talk to the ankle doc and find out if I'm just going to let it heal on its own or you got to do something. I don't know.
You got to get one of those when you lay in bed. You got to get one of those deals where you put your foot up.
I don't have one of those deals. Did Katie have surgery?
No, she did not. But she also did not get it cured because she was, in the early in the pandemic, these doctors were, let's do one of these video chats.
Oh, a Zoom deal.
Yeah.
This is when she fell down the steps.
Yeah, she missed a couple of steps.
Yeah.
And I
hate when that happens.
But that's, I can't remember. I don't think I've ever broken any. I've broken an arm or two, but I've never broken an ankle, I don't think. That's too bad.
Yeah.
I hope you got some good pain pills.
Ibuprofen, 800 milligrams. Is that a lot?
Yeah, that'll give you. It's
yeah.
not a. I don't think it's a street drug though. I don't think that'll get you one.
This was a prescription for a kid I used to have, and she dropped it off here.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Well, that's good.
Tough times.
I believe that's illegal, but that's okay. What do we care?
And Pat, you'll be happy to know that Joe informed the staff yesterday during the latter stages of yesterday's Vikings game, and it says, broke my ankle today on the golf course. I don't think I'll be in this week. See the ankle guy Friday to determine surgery or not. I responded thinking that he meant he was going to take the whole week off with, last time I checked, you sit in a chair.
Right.
Not showing concern.
Not showing proper concern.
Right.
No.
What's coming up on the ride?
I have proper concern for you. That's terrible. At our advanced age, we need all our limbs.
Yes.
That's a good point.
Yes. That's
it probably
true.
takes longer to heal at our advanced age.
Yeah, could be.
Are you a milk drinker? Would drinking milk, the calcium, does that help heal a bone?
I've had a glass of milk or two.
Okay.
I bet I could drink a glass of milk once every 3-4 months, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe. bowl of Cheerios once every 3-4 months. That's it.
Did you watch your ball club at the end of the game yesterday?
Yes, I didn't. Now, I went to the Twins game, but I did. I was watching it online there at the end, and you know what I couldn't figure? You know, by the way, Joe, they had a running back who got 180 yards.
Yep.
And they had a pass receiver at 170 yards. And never in the history of the NFL, going way back to our friend George Halas, was sitting on the bumper of the Humpmobile in Canton, Ohio, has a team had a receiver go for 170 and a running back go for 180 and lose.
Yeah.
This is the first time ever. Now, I don't know how they run all this through the computer that quickly, but that's what they're saying. Never has this happened before.
They're hapless is the word I use.
Well, even when they're good, they're hapless.
Yeah.
But you could feel the tension of Cousins realizing it was the three guys rushing, and the pocket just caved immediately.
Yeah, but you can't blame him for what happened at the end.
No, I'm not blaming the whole line.
That was a jailbreak.
Well,
it was a sprint to the quarterback
when
at the end.
Gostkowski was lining up for that 55, I'm going, come on, baby, knock her
Still
through.
holding out for Trevor. They can't lose them all. Sorry, don't worry.
But you know what I think is going to happen? This head coach and this quarterback are going to end up killing each other. Did you hear the post-game comments yesterday?
I heard him say the end of the last of the drive. We have veteran players on offense, and the last drive was chaos. He said, and then Kirk immediately says, "I'd have to figure out what he's talking about."
Well, no, but Kirk did say we did score 30 points. That should be enough.
In other words, your defense lost the game.
Yep.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think it could turn into a little.
And that's what I'm rooting for, baby.
And of course, the other thing is, last time Zim had a legendary offensive coordinator, the first one he had here, Norv Turner, when the going got tough, he basically ran him out. Is he going to run out Gary Kubiak, for God's sakes?
Well, didn't Kubiak have the bad ticker and he had to step away
well,
for
he had a
heart?
small stroke and a few other problems, yeah.
I could see that developing.
But
if
the offense did score 30 points and put up 460 yards. So I think Zim's defense has got to take some credit, don't you? Although they were stout, making them kick all those field goals instead of touchdowns. So.
Well, tonight we're going to see the opposite of Kirk Cousins.
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick and Lamar.
And, wow. That is...
That's going to be a good game.
Those are the guys you don't want to come in behind them. Because if you give him that step in front, especially Lamar Jackson, he will. That is, I might have to watch that because we don't have any baseball
I'm
yet.
glad no baseball's going to interfere because I want to watch that game tonight.
So let me ask you this question as I'm looking up his stats. Okay, in 2018, the Vikes signed Cousins to a 3-year, $84 million contract. 84, okay. And then in 2020, a 2-year, $66 million extension.
Because they wanted to spread the money out a little further for cap purposes for this year. But I think, here's the deal. If they were to say, okay, this isn't working, his cap hit for next year is $30 million. His cap hit for the next year after that is $20 million. And a cap hit after that is $10 million. And post-pandemic, everybody expects the cap to go down. So the Viking, he's your quarterback. Don't worry about it. You got no option.
How much of that money is guaranteed?
I don't know how much of the 66 was, but the 84 was, remember, the big deal was it guaranteed in full. So I'm sure he got another 40 maybe guaranteed. I don't know. I don't know. But it is sad that there can't be fans there to properly escort the team off the field after one like that.
Well, how about the sound guy in the fourth quarter? I think it was Murph that made the point on Twitter. Basically, the crowd was still cheering when they would get a first down, even though the Titans had come roaring back. Mm-hmm. And someone, I think it was Murph, had put it, boy, the fans are giving it all they can today. They're really, their support of today's game has been,
Well, when Kirk came back, when Kirk made his first appearance yesterday, if there'd been fans, after the performance against Indianapolis, ooh, it would have been deafening.
Oh yeah.
And then they would have gotten happy. They would have been okay. And then when they got off the field after the end of that one, it would have been ooh.
But the one good thing that came out of it, that Jefferson kid can play. Wow.
Well, my friend Rob, our friend Rob Demoski from who covers the Packers for ESPN in Green Bay, told me that Aaron Rodgers wanted him.
Really?
And when the Vikings drafted him, but he said, when the Packers are going to draft receivers with this administration anyway, they bring in Rodgers to look at the crop of them, and he loved this guy. So.
Yeah, he can play.
They got him.
Yeah.
He's a taunting penalty waiting to happen, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, yeah. They'll run across the line
yellow
where he's
shoes.
doing this.
What are the Google glasses? What is that?
I don't know.
When he scored the touchdown,
I don't know.
He put circles around his eyes and did the Google thing.
Why are they all wearing those headphones after the game? Is that the Zoom deal?
Yeah. And, the Twins, when Rocco and the boys do their Zoom, they don't have like the
big
pilots,
cans,
but Zim really looks like a dork with his big canister on. Zim doesn't wear a mask when he does the Zoom, though, right?
Well, he has the face shield during the game. He's got the big windshield looking deal.
Rocco does the mask. He does his Zoom with the mask because he's trying to set an example for the rest of us.
Gotcha.
But the Twins don't. They have a different system because their Zoom. I had Tim Kirchin from ESPN. He's doing the game tomorrow night. He called me up looking for a little Twins info, and he asked me, "Why is Maeda so good? Has he changed anything?" And I said, "I got to tell you, Tim, Japanese interpreters on Zoom." We don't quite break her down like we'd used to, like we'd like to, as far as getting answers to in-depth questions. We pretty much got to take what we can get.
If they beat Houston, they're at home again, right?
No. Then they go into the bubble.
So home teams are only going to get one series at home.
And then you go to the bubble. And the American League bubbles are in San Diego and Los Angeles, which are National League cities. And the National League bubbles are in Houston and Dallas, which are American League cities, which doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense to me.
Are the Twins still in a bubble right now at home?
Yes, they put them in a Tuesday, I believe.
Yeah.
And they're in the bubble here. You can't. I think the families are going to be. Their families aren't with them now, but they're going to let them into the bubble out in San Diego if they advance.
Didn't they do that, Pat, because they didn't want either the Padres or the Astros to have some type of advantage? Isn't that why they did American League, the crossover? I thought I read that somewhere. Well, A-Rod explained it to us. You're very comfortable when you're playing in your home ballpark.
Yeah, that's true. That is.
Way out there, huh? Way out there.
That is. They avoided the Yankees, though, Such. That's what counts.
That means we advance. That means we have a chance to advance.
It is pretty mathematically impossible to have lost 16 straight playoff games.
Yeah.
So it's the record by 3. But the Red Sox had 13, but those were like World Series and ALC, and they weren't like division series and stuff like that. They were. This was when they only had 2 rounds of playoffs. They won 13 in a row.
After I saw their drop, Pat, do you think that they were trying to lose that game yesterday? Because if they had won the game, they would have been the 2 seed, correct? Instead of the 3?
Yeah, if they'd won the game, they would have been 2 seed, and they would have gotten the Mighty Whiteys.
Yeah.
The Mighty Whiteys would have been fun, though. Do you know how many teams that the Twins have as an opponent that they have always had in their collection of teams that they competed with? American League West, American League Central. Do you know how many teams there are that they've always had in there?
1?
The Mighty Whiteys are the only team that they've always had in their division because the Kansas City Royals didn't start till 1969, and Detroit and Cleveland used to be in the East.
So. Sure. Okay.
That's a little tidbit of trivia.
I was hoping for the Mighty Whiteys to be our opponent, but that didn't. But I don't know. I wonder who's going to write the pompous the Houston cheaters shouldn't even be
That's right. I
here.
forgot about
Yeah,
that.
right.
Right. How are they going to cheat this year?
What? Because they stole a sign or something?
Yeah, they stole a few.
But I should find out from St. Peter if I can bring a trash can and just sit behind home plate, and just do that the whole game and bang on it.
I doubt if you can.
I didn't think so.
You should be able to get in, though. They're going to let a few people in.
Are they
Why
really?
couldn't you get in friend of the family or something?
Sure.
They're going to let, excuse me. They're going to let,
Give me that bottle over there.
friends of family members and then, not friends, but family members and then staff members and stuff. They're going to have some people in the ballpark instead of just cutouts.
I still can't get used to that. And I still can't get used to the reaction. I mean, yesterday, this is back to football, watching it without anybody there in that little murmur when something bad happens.
I think the football murmur is no more obnoxious than the baseball murmur.
I do
murmur,
too.
Don't you?
Yeah, I do too.
Because they're
I
more
just-
determined.
Yeah,
I'm
because
just struggling with fanless sports.
Oh, yes.
you don't like seeing those cutouts either?
No.
Who are all those people in the stands?
Yeah, Pat, like I didn't know those were cardboard heads.
Yeah, you're not that kind of guy.
Did you see what the Denver Broncos did? And I don't know if you and Joe will get this reference, Patrick, but the Denver Broncos, they were playing Tampa Bay, I believe, yesterday, and they did the entire cast, every character that's ever been on South Park. They had them
Oh, really? Oh, I
in
did
the
see that.
crowd.
Yeah, I did
it
see
was
that.
pretty cool. That was pretty
Wow.
cool.
Good for them. So, Joe, here's a good one for you. I don't think you're a big believer in putting the man on second, right?
No, I'm not.
For extra innings.
No.
So, Caleb Thielbar, the Randolph Rocket, Randolph, Minnesota, great story. Hadn't been in the major league since April 30th, 2015. Made the team this year. He was going to be the pitching coach at Augustana, and he got signed by the Twins, made the team in spring training, then sat out for, went home to Brookings, South Dakota, and hung out with his wife and babies. And then now he's back, and he's pitched really well for him. So he comes into a 2-2 game in the ninth inning yesterday. 1-2-3 inning. Right?
Yeah.
It's
supposed to be.
1-2-3. 1-2-3. No base runners. The Twins don't score in the bottom of the ninth. So we go to the 10th, and we put the guy on second base. Right?
Yep.
He pitches to one batter, and the guy pops up. And then they take him out of the game. He's faced four batters, retired them all. And then Sergio Bumo comes in, who stinks lately, and anything that happens to him that makes Rocco less likely to use him, if I was a Twins fan, I'd be happy. Comes in and gets crap knocked out of him, and that guy from second scores to make it 3-2.
This the guy with the fake beard?
Yeah. The guy, losing pitcher, Caleb Thielbar.
It's just a
That's
joke.
something.
Because
Isn't that something?
You get credit for the runner, even though
Yeah,
you
that
haven't.
is-
They got to change that rule so
That's
that
terrible.
so that the scorer can give the loss to whoever had the most to do with it. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And as Sergio was getting knocked around yesterday, Pat, I noticed he was not as animated as he normally would be on the mound, which
No, he wasn't
which made me
chasing
very
anybody.
happy.
He wasn't chasing anybody down the line or anything.
Yeah.
Well, every time he gets a hitter out, I'm kind of surprised. So, but anyway, talk about stupid.
Yeah.
That's incredible. But baseball, they don't think of stuff like that. They just, we'll do this, and the runner, the pitcher who's in gets credit. It's not an earned run against him, but he takes the loss.
But he still gets the loss.
Yeah, that's
You'd think the
brilliant.
purists would have realized that and somehow
You
fixed
think
that.
they would have said that?
Yeah.
Somebody. Well, because you got all these dummies that work for Manfred who don't. Yeah, this will be good. Let's do this. Nobody thinks one step ahead. So, anyway, how about the hockey? You gonna watch that tonight? You gonna see the Lightning win the cup?
I think I'll click between that and my man Patrick Mahomes.
Okay. And by the way, the Lightning last year, one of the great teams in NHL history, scored incredible amount of goals. I think they had 20 points more than any team in the league. Ooh. Got swept in the first round by Columbus, the 8th seed. Mm-hmm. This time they're not nearly as good, and they're going to win the cup. Your
Are they up?
sport
They're up
is-
3-2. They're up 3-2.
Your sport is random.
Yes, it is.
It's random.
Hot goalie. Hot goalie.
How long
they've
have they
had two
been in the
hot-
bubble up there? 3 months?
Oh God! How long?
That's just amazing.
When did our Wild played in it? If anybody can remember that, when the
Had to
hell
be
was
what?
I'm
that?
looking it up here.
August? Early
When did the
August?
Wild play their last game, Rook? Look it up.
Okay.
Because it was like 4 days before that. The Wild played every other day. Did the Wild lose 3 straight?
After they won the first game.
No, they won a
won the
game.
first game, and then they won last.
August 7th was their last game.
So they've been since, and they had them up there for
2 weeks before.
like about 2, late. So July, about the same time baseball was starting, about July 24th, they've been up there. Wow.
They were in quarantine longer than they actually played.
Yep.
But they got real bored.
And do we know when that season will start, or hasn't that been figured out
They
yet?
haven't announced, and the NBA is the NBA originally people thought maybe they'd start on Christmas,
Yep.
then January, and Silver's talking like it might be February, and they're just going to play a shorter season. So,
Isn't baseball anticipating a normal start next spring?
well, they've announced a spring training Grapefruit League schedule starting February 29th, but who knows? Johnson & Johnson, I'm holding out for them now. They're a big old company. I see they're working on something. So
Well,
I don't want the test. I'm with the Donald on that one. Let's just take a shot, see if it works or not.
Roll the dice. Let's go here.
And I'm glad to see Donald has helped us finance it with his $750 donation to the coffers.
I'm surprised it took you 21 minutes to get to that.
Listen,
Here we go.
he's going to release those tax records just as soon as the audit's over. But why would you, if you got a guy like Donald Trump, even before he's elected president, why would you take 7-8 years to audit it? Why wouldn't you just put an extra guy on it, right?
Yeah, the high end guys.
Put a couple extra guys on it, and we can get her out here.
Did you call Fred? Yeah, we got
I
to call
don't think
Fred.
the more I think about it, I don't think it's plausible that he got away with paying only $750. There's probably some stuff we don't know.
I also don't think it's plausible, however, that the New York Times did not put some crackerjack financial people on this to when they got. You knew these were going to get leaked, right? Eventually here. So I got to think they've covered their bases here.
Joe
So
also,
we'll see.
just like the president, Pat, earlier on Garage Logic mentioned that he also wants to deduct $70,000 for haircuts.
Well, Pat, I'm in the entertainment industry.
Yes, you are.
I have
Yes,
to make
you are.
public appearances. I have to have my photograph taken. I'm
Yes.
damn well going to try it, believe
Yes.
me.
And are we sure some of those aren't transplants with the Don too? They look like transplants sometimes, but
I'm
maybe
paying the
not.
CP $100,000 as a consultant fee.
Yes, that's true.
Why
That's-
not?
That's true.
I write off every square inch of my garage. I do a show about garages. There you go. I've been lax in taking advantage of these rules.
Yes, you have. You have not done a proper job of taking your discounts. That's sure.
It
I
never
got the
occurred to
pool.
me to
What can
try-
I? What can I have? The pool.
That's been show material for you.
Yes, it's been show material. Plus, it helps me concentrate. You know, it's sporting. It gets me sporting and keeps me up to date.
Get you sporting.
Yeah,
right?
it gets me thinking about sporting events. and
New
stuff
motor,
like
new
that.
filter. That's it. You write them all
I
off.
think it all. It is unbelievable how he's got to be just wanting to. I don't know. The debate's going to be fun tomorrow, isn't it? Wow.
It's got to be must-watch television.
Yeah. What
We
do we
won't
do?
learn one damn thing about an issue affecting this country.
No.
This will be a schoolyard fight.
Now this one's on Fox, right?
Yeah.
So they get to tilt the first one towards Don, and then we get to tilt her back later, right?
I guess.
Yeah, they'll.
But
I don't
Don's
know how
already
they'll
worried
have-
that.
How do
he's
they
gonna get-
decide what network has it? Just make an agreement between the candidates?
The
don't
League
know.
of Women Voters, I think, decide. I don't know. But Don's worried what? He's going to get act.
Oh, Don's already he's setting up the loss again. He said they're going to ask me the toughest questions.
Okay, plus Joe's on drugs.
Yeah, he wants a drug test
Drug
for Joe.
test. That's one of the old timers. Unbelievable. I hope Joe is taking drugs. I'm a little worried about him. He's not.
Sleepy Joe Biden. I can't believe that. Again, the greatest country in the whole wide world, and these are the two that we got.
It is, and the third was Bernie.
Feel the burn.
Hey, I got a political question for you.
All right.
Yeah.
So the Angie Craig election, I don't know who she was running against, right?
She's running against Jason.
No.
Jason's running against Tina.
That's
Oh, I'm
Tina.
sorry. You're right.
He's
Tina.
running for
I'm
Senate.
sorry.
She's
Angie
running against a Marine
Is
whose
Andy
name-
Craig the one that beat Jason?
Yes.
Yeah, Angie Craig.
Yep.
We had to cancel the election because some guy who was going to get 55 votes died.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
I mean, it was.
Oh, the mayor of the Green
They
Party.
said
or whatever
one
it
of
was.
the mayor. No, it wasn't even the Green Party. It was one of the major candidates. He wasn't a major candidate. He was going to get 100 votes.
Right.
Let's have a little reality here.
That's-
Unbelievable. We do some stupid things, Joe.
Yes, we do.
That's one of them. Putting a man on second base and giving the loss to Caleb Thielbar. That's stupid. And cancel an election because Bill Jones is going to get 28 votes, and we got to put it off till February.
Well,
it's second district candidate Adam Weeks. That's who died.
Yeah, what was the party?
Green Party. No, Marijuana Legal Now Party.
Of the legal marijuana now.
Yeah,
party.
and it
Yes.
said a major. If somebody from a major party dies, we've got since Wellstone, we've had this on the books. It's not a major party.
Well, if that's who he's affiliated with, I bet he really knows how to party.
Yeah, well, not
She's
anymore.
running against Tyler Kistner.
Angie is?
Yeah.
Well,
She's really,
and Angie sent out her best wishes to the family of the marijuana guy. Yeah, the
So
guy
very
who likes
kind.
his weed. So
She's really featured in that. I wonder if Jeep got a little payback for her ads that she's running, because it's all she does is she's seen in that black Jeep with the top
I
off.
haven't seen any ads. I don't watch that much. Except for Hubbard, I watch Channel 5.
Right,
News
all the
very
time.
loyally.
Oh, yeah.
But,
I think what Pat is saying is. Yes. Oh, by the way, gentlemen, just in the time we were talking about the president, our president has weighed in on the tax
On the
story.
tax- oh, good.
Yes.
All right.
Here we go.
So the failing New York Times has put out another one. I mean, no wonder they're failing. They put out such a long article, so boring, and obviously full of total fake news. It's called depreciation. We know you don't know what that means, okay? Because you've been low IQ for a long time. But it's an important sort of thing that they put in our tax law for great business people. You get married, okay? You get to do a tax thing when you're married versus single. And when your wife, turns 40, 41, you start to lose appreciation. You start looking elsewhere. That's called depreciation. So you write that down, and maybe your businesses start to lose money because you're depressed because your wife, is 42 and doesn't do the same thing she used to when she needed that green card or when she was, looking to get into the prenup. So that's called depreciation. And then we had, as you know, I know you know, I am a great sort of investor, not just real estate, but I know, a great market. You see what the stock market did before the China virus, so the Kung Flu, as I call it. It was so powerful. Okay, Fujitsu hits us, and it totally ruined my great economy. But I have great investment. About 6 years ago, I invested heavily in something called Blockbuster Video. Okay, you see how much people watch video. And it's called Blockbuster. You wouldn't have seen that. Nobody saw that business failing. It was video, and it was called Blockbuster. And unfortunately, things happened. It didn't go so well. So that's called a business loss. So we write that up. But you don't know anything about that. And then, obviously, my hair has to get paid for. And that's actually not that expensive, okay? It's not that expensive. Look at Sleepy Joe's hair plugs. I bet he writes those off. And lastly, Ivanka's consulting. Sometimes you just got to give a woman a lot of money to get her to want you.
Is that the end of it?
That's the end.
Oh, a little Ivanka joke at the end there. Wow. Okay. Well, now what kind of reaction do we get from Joe's loyal listeners when this is played?
I think a lot of the
chuckle
people.
at it.
I think a lot of people do chuckle
Okay,
because
that's
even the
good.
most
Devoted
Trump supporter
non-believers.
knows that he's you can poke fun at him a
Yeah,
little bit.
right. And he takes it well.
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
I can't wait till tomorrow night. It's going to be hilarious.
I can't wait till J.L. Colvin puts a
Right. Gets another one
recap
out there.
video after the debate.
Oh, God.
He's got to get somebody. He's got to get a Biden impersonator to go on there. With
But
him.
I will, because I follow him on Twitter. He's hilarious. But what's funny is there are people that follow, because he does a podcast in addition to stand-up comedy.
Think it's him?
That think that he's this gigantic Trump supporter when it's the exact opposite. And then they get mad. They're like, this isn't a serious show about the president. And he'll no kidding. Sarcasm gets lost a little bit on social media, I believe.
It's taken a real dive in our things that like I not even sarcasm. I don't know what it was. Is the other day I said Louis Rise returned from 17-day absence, 3 doubles, single, 3 RBIs, 2 runs scored. I would say he's a very strong candidate to be player of the game. And, oh, no kidding, you idiot.
Yeah.
They do need that little guy, though, don't they? Ooh, man.
Yes.
I thought we were getting California out of control a little bit. She's not looking up there good up there in grape country there. Wow.
No, it's firing up again. Santa Rosa.
Wow. Man.
I've never been to wine country. I was scheduled to go there in September, but the pandemic canceled the event I was supposed to attend.
The DA and I were up there once. We stayed up there once, not to drink wine, but just to hang out. I played Silverado Country Club one day when we were up there. We stayed there for about 3 days.
Did you ask any security people if they live around there?
Yeah, buddy. Hey, Silverado, not quite as hoity-toity as Cypress Point.
Yeah.
And Pebble Beach in that area. Not quite as...
Now I remember what I was going to bring up. I was in communication, Patrick, with my neighbor, Miss Marnie Gellner, and who I believe was one of the originators of the rally robe that you're seeing
She's
at
one
Twins
of
games.
mine. You mean it wasn't Donaldson's idea?
Well, I think she's been at the forefront of it or whatever. And I said, I need to get Royce a rally robe.
Now,
for
do
the
they still
postseason
have
run.
them?
I believe so.
I didn't see them flashing them. Are they still using them in the dugout or not?
I guess I don't know. I just assumed they were.
I don't know. I guess I haven't seen the replays. So, you don't waste. They have to be expensive, right? What are they?
I'm going to find out
They're
right
going to
now.
put them out, right?
Yeah, I'm going to find out right now.
They're kind of velvet, aren't they?
Velvety. They look like a boxer's thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Donaldson trying to make it look like he's not a complete moron, so he decided to be one of the boys, right? Mm-hmm. What is it? Is there on a website there? What they
Yeah, I'm
cost?
trying to find it right here. It's through the Soda Stick company, clothing company.
Mm-hmm.
Where
I'm
is
still
the
looking
link
at
here?
Silverado going, those are some nice digs.
Mm-hmm.
I can't find.
I think
the
I'm
link
out for
now.
the country club membership.
Can't find what it's going to cost.
Yeah, I can't find a price on here.
Well, every time we break out this, the poor Star Tribune is trying to break out the hanky again from home. Let's let the hanky go. The last few times you broke out the hanky, the boys got
Didn't work.
By the time you distribute them, they're eliminated.
Will this series have a night game?
No, this is your kind of series. Well,
Wow.
could be Thursday.
Yeah.
Depends upon if a couple of them end. But the first tomorrow 1, Wednesday noon.
Wow.
And Thursday now they haven't set the times because if the bunch of the American League series ends early, then they would move us back to prime time. But this is the benefit of not playing the Yankees. Cleveland's playing the Yankees, and the first 2 games are like 6:30, which is 7:30 in the East.
But these are best of 5.
No,
best of three.
best of 3.
Oh, best of 3. Okay.
You get beat Tuesday and Wednesday, and you're done,
going
baby.
home. You're out of the bubble.
And Joe,
All right.
based on those start times, I just want you to know I will be laser focused on the Garage Logic podcast.
I'm sure you
I
will
think
be.
you boys should start early at least on Wednesday.
That's not a bad idea.
If the boys are trying to advance, I think that's good. Where's
It's a
Kenny,
noon
by
start
the way?
Wednesday?
I didn't hear from him today.
He comes in when he feels like it.
He took a long weekend. or
yeah,
what?
he had some matters to tend to today.
Matters.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That's
What time's the game Wednesday? Noon?
Noon.
We probably should record early because Reavers will be worthless.
Right. You have to hit the brakes from your own house.
In other words, mildly worse than normal.
Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't really high on the meter to begin with.
So I got to ask you about the airline.
Yes.
What happened? The lieutenant colonel and the bride are flying home early tomorrow morning. They said the plane is full.
Are they
American
flying the
Airlines.
American?
To get back to Hawaii. What the hell? What happened to the middle seat? Don't we have any?
I
don't we
believe
have any
Southwest-
regulations?
I believe Southwest is not selling the middle seat come hell or high water. The locals here are once you're socially distanced and separated and revenue still, they're not turning away the revenue. Let's put it that way. So they're filling that middle
None of
seat.
them? Delta or anyone you might work for?
Delta, Sun Country, American, they're filling up that middle seat because of revenue.
Boy, would I be upset in this era of the pandemic if a guy like me came in and got in that middle seat. I'd be worried about the social distancing.
Yes.
Like the time that the white Bryant McKinney came down the aisle and had the middle seat between me and that would be, in the pandemic, that would not have worked.
Or like my buddy Gary Selberg,
Yeah,
the salesman,
fake,
the big guy.
give the fake.
Give the head fake to the old grandma going to Fort Myers. She just beads of sweat. Gives a little head fake at her, and that was his calling
I
card.
was in a row when this guy came in, and he had to duck.
Oh man.
He had to duck, when he came in.
Yeah.
And I saw him from when he came out of the first cabin back to row 34, and he just kept coming. And I was looking around to see if there were any other seats
Open seats?
available. And he got there, and I'm there. I said, wow, you and me, baby. That poor little skinny guy over by the window, man, we blew him away.
Oh, the other thing we were going to ask Pat about, Joe, we were talking about Rodney Klein crew hitting almost 477.
388.
And Joe brought up the Ted Williams, how Ted Williams played a doubleheader the year he was going to hit 400 and instead of sitting out. And I thought the same thing happened with Miguel Cabrera the year that he won the Triple Crown. Didn't he also play the last day of the season instead of opting out to save his batting
I think he
title?
did play, yeah.
Yeah, that's
think
what I
he
thought
did
so too.
To preserve the batting title, yeah.
Pat, would the modern ball player to preserve hitting 407, let's say, because I think Ted's record is 406, isn't it?
You know what? I think that, to hit just over 400, if you could do that. But I think that there's a lot of them who would want to play, but there would be a lot of managers who wouldn't let them,
Mm-hmm.
Managers are, very protective of a lot of them are very protective of their athletes. As I said last week, I can guarantee you that Rocco would never have pulled the guy out of left field like that David Ross did a week ago Sunday when he pulled Schwarber out of left field. Rocco would have addressed it tomorrow, but he would not have. He would not. I mean, might not have played him the next day, but he wouldn't have embarrassed the guy. They don't. They don't believe in embarrassing you. Not many of them believe in embarrassing you. Now Zim.
Oh, yeah.
Zim was calling out, he was calling out Harrison Smith and Anthony Harris yesterday, his fine collection of safety. They can't do that. They can't both come up and stop the run.
I don't see when they're going to win another game anytime soon, by the way. Houston's lost 3 close games to 3 really good teams.
They got terrible defense, but
So does the Vikings.
they got Deshaun. So you like Deshaun Watson better than Kirk Cousins?
Yeah, just a little bit. And then they go to Seattle on a Monday night game, and then I think after that they have a bye, and then I think after that they play Green Bay again.
Hey, Joe, you know my favorite man in American sports is Ed Orgeron, the LSU coach. Mm-hmm. Now, the Cajun of all time. They opened their defending champions, opened their season. They've had quite a few players opt out because of the coronavirus, and they want their, Louisiana's been terrible. And they graduated a bunch of guys that went to the NFL. They lost their quarterback. On Saturday night, opening, and they had a scattering of fans there. It looks like they let 10,000 in or something like that. They gave up more passing yards than any team in the history of the Southeast Conference. Wow. 623 yards passing for Mississippi State. It was transfixing, even though I'm an old LSU fan, to see that they would just throw to these guys and they'd run 50 yards. It was Mike Leach's first game as the Mississippi State coach. Southeast Conference record.
Did you hear what Mr. Leach had to say?
No.
Following the game after they beat LSU.
We played LSU because New England, Green Bay, and the Chiefs had somebody scheduled, so we played these guys. But I'm really proud of our guys.
He was kind of talking
about not many people gave us a chance.
Exactly.
In other words, that was right.
Thank you.
Well, you got two of the craziest son of a guns in sports right there, Leach and Ed.
Oh.
Yeah, but
I love listening to Ed talk, though.
Oh, I do. I love listening to Coco even more. The mom, though, Coco is fantastic. She's, I told you about his buddy his best friend that I talked to, who did a column on him last year.
Yeah.
And his best friend's mother's nickname was Fury. And her nickname was given to her by Ed Orgeron's father because they were the best of buddies. And I said, why Fury? And he said, because she could go from 0 to 100 faster than anybody in the history of man. And he said, 2-time cancer survivor and still can, he said.
He was featured on 60 Minutes. Did you see this clip?
Ed, no.
Yeah, here's it. After dropping out of Louisiana State University, Ed Orgeron transferred to Northwestern State after graduation. He took volunteer coaching jobs while moonlighting on the shrimp boat that you mentioned earlier. Here's just a short snippet of that.
He transferred to play for Northwestern State, and then after graduation, took volunteer coaching jobs while moonlighting in the hull of a shrimp boat.
And I'll never forget, man, we shoveled shrimp from 5 in the morning to 10 at night. And I had a shovel in my hand, and the phone rang. And he goes, hey, man, they have an assistant strength coach job at Arkansas. Do you want it? I said, hold on. I took the shrimp shovel. Shoo! I threw it in the bayou, and I said, hell yeah. Okay, man, got to be here by Monday. I said, I got one question for you. He said, what? I said, where the hell's Arkansas?
Very close to Louisiana, by the way.
What a character.
Well, the guy told me that he was the guy shoveling shrimp with Ed, this guy, and they'd sleep in the shed next to the shrimp shed.
Oh,
they'd come in and they'd put a ton of shrimp. The boat would come in and have a ton of shrimp on it. They had to shovel it onto the conveyor belt. And then they'd sleep in the next room.
Oh, I bet that smelled great.
In the height of summer in Louisiana.
No.
But I said, so you boys didn't get to go into town too often? He said, well, we'd shower, we'd get a hose on ourselves, and we'd get the stink off us as much as we could. And we had a friend, he'd take us into the bar, but he made us ride in the trunk. I love Louisiana people. They are just, unbelievable. The lieutenant colonel always tells the story about how he went to one LSU football game with a bunch of guys who lived. He was in Biloxi, and he just came over single then. And got into some whiskey with them, and woke up the next morning out in the bayou next to a pot of gumbo, big thing of gumbo. And never went to another LSU football game. He said,
Wow.
Yeah, it's.
Are they in Baton Rouge?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. And
Never been.
But he comes from Belforche Lagoon, which bayou that goes all the way down to the Gulf. Yeah, so it's there's some towns down there, man. Well, Bobby Hebert, you remember him? He was from he was from high school 6 miles away, and also was the quarterback at Northwestern State. So all those Cajun guys were up there together.
The Ragin' Cajun, wasn't that his nickname, Bobby?
Yeah, that was also the nickname of Southwest Louisiana, I believe. So, but yeah, he was the Ragin' Cajun. He was the guy that the quarterback when they had their first good team against Burnsy's
87.
Burnsy's 87 bunch, and Anthony Carter had a pretty good ball game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll say
46-10. Randy Bush was there with his wife. Then wife, I don't think they're together anymore, but they came up to the press box and to say hello, and they had in front of the press box and the beads and the 2/3 hammered, and they were so happy. And about a quarter and a half later, he was giving me the thumbs down.
Is he still in baseball?
Yeah, assistant general manager with the Cubs still.
He still is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
think
didn't
he's
know
still
that.
there, yeah. Yep. What do you think? You got to go?
I gotta go.
Okay. All right. Good luck with that ankle.
I gotta talk to Rook, so I'll just hang on here. You guys get off the
All
air.
right.
Here's your list. I didn't want to interrupt, but here's your list of people that are not selling, airlines that are not selling the middle seats. Alaska, Delta, Hawaiian, JetBlue, and Southwest will not sell the middle seat.
How about Joe's favorite airline, Budget Air?
Budget Air, it looks like they gave you an extra roll of duct tape and just tape it right over your mouth so you don't hurt anybody.
I'm waiting for that one that has you stand up.
That's coming.
On the
That's
seat,
coming.
On that
Stand
little
airline.
seat.
Yeah.
Hang on, airline.
Right.
It's feel like riding the light rail.
But how happy are they, though, that in this pandemic times they can sell the metal seat, but it's too dangerous to distribute anything to the customers.
Right.
You can't give them Coke, but you can sit in that middle seat next to some fat ass like me. It's okay.
Goodbye.